Hey guys, what's up? My name's Shaney. Welcome back to my channel, a place where you can find all things self-development, minimalism and lifestyle. This week I'm going to be taking you with me and sharing how I found the second part of my KonMari journey, which is books and papers. For those of you who don't know what the KonMari journey is, KonMari method is a decluttering method made by a lady called Marie Kondo. She has a show on Netflix if you'd like to give that a check out, but alternatively, the way that I found inspiration from her was from her book, The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up. If you're interested in living an intentional life and really appreciating everything you have and cultivating a productive and sacred space, then I definitely recommend giving this a read and trying her method out. Alternatively, if you're not sure yet, please feel free to watch and see what I'm doing, and if it seems of interest to you, then you can pick it up afterwards. Personally, I found this week's topic or category a lot easier than the last category, which was clothes, but mostly because I feel you don't really have attachments to papers and books. Maybe books, but definitely not papers. Papers can include manuals from electronics, bills, wage slips, insurance documents. Most of the time it's all that formal stuff that you keep because you think you should, but actually it's probably 5 years old now. How often do you actually go through your documents folder, if you have one, and actually clear it out? Probably never. So for me, I also feel like this was easier because I only moved a year ago, so I actually decluttered a lot of this stuff before I moved. And part of that year, for 3 months of it, I was actually away in Australia traveling, so I hadn't really accumulated that much more in the last 6 to 9 months, especially not books wise either. Just to give you some backstory for those of you who have no idea how the KonMari method works, the first thing she advises is to do everything in categories. So last week I did my clothes, this week I'm doing books and papers. So the first thing you have to do is take all of your books and all of your papers from wherever they're hiding in your house. That could be the kitchen, that could be a random crack drawer that you have in your living room, wherever there's stuff hiding, put it in a big pile in front of you. P.S. this does also include magazines. I'm trying to pack parts of my room up because I'm moving next weekend, but I'm not going to be home for I'm not going to be home for a whole week, so I'm tackling my papers because there's lots of shit that I probably just don't need to be bringing with me. So I'm going through all my papers right now and I'm just clearing away everything that just is shit, basically. Once you've got everything upon in front of you, you can fully assess the volume of crap that you have, and it makes you realise how much you've been storing. It's quite an eye-opener. The second thing that she advises is to put things into categories. Now for books and papers, I literally just separated into books, magazines, and then papers, and also like manuals, I guess, like electronic manuals, etc, etc. Once you put them in your categories, usually the way that she advises to find whether you want to keep an item or not is to hold that item and close your eyes and just spend a moment with it and see, does it bring you joy? Ask yourself, does it bring you joy? If the answer to that question is yes, then keep it. If the answer is no, then you thank that item and you put it in the discard pile. Now obviously papers and manuals don't really excite joy in anyone. Most of the time we are keeping it because we have to. It's an insurance document, or we need our wage slips for getting a mortgage, etc, etc. KonMari really is not a fan of paper, and she recommends throwing all of it away unless you have to action it still. She likes people to get a paper tray, put those things that are still pending to be actioned, and once you've actioned them, put them in the trash. I am behind this theory also because in this day and age we can get everything electronically, or you can scan something and keep it electronically somewhere so you don't have to clutter your physical space. I definitely don't feel there's a need to be keeping stuff like that. I personally, at the end of this journey, only really kept a few pay slips because I am looking to get a mortgage in the next couple of months, and so I will need those. Clearing out the books was a little bit harder than papers, purely because there's books that you've bought and you haven't read yet, and you tell yourself you're going to read them, but realistically, you're probably not. If you've had that book for a couple of months and you still haven't picked it up, you probably never will. I would suggest donating it to a charity or sell it on so you don't feel like you've lost all the money. There may also be books that you actually have attachments to. Maybe they remind you of your childhood, or it's just a favourite book of yours. That's fine. If you really, really love it, then keep it, but if not, then throw it away. As I said earlier, I had moved not that long ago, so I didn't actually have that many books I'd accumulated because I did already do that probably a year ago. The only thing I will say is that my books were scattered around everywhere, so it was nice to actually see the books I did have all in one place, because sometimes you forget that you have books. So I've just gone through my folder and I'm throwing all of this shit out. I literally had like wage slips from 2012 and like MOT certificates from 2014. Why did I still have that? I have no idea. So yeah, that's everything that's going. So good to get rid of shit. This category definitely didn't take me anywhere near as long as clothes did. Again, as I said, it's probably because you don't have an emotional attachment to it, so it's a lot easier to keep trash, and it's more of a matter of being pragmatic. Do I have to keep this document? Do I not? Once you have decluttered and decided what you're going to keep and what you're going to discard, put your keep items away in a designated space where you always know that that's where that item will be kept. The Konmari method does recommend keeping like items in a similar space. Obviously, that's not always applicable, but do it where you can. So I put all my papers back in my folder in a drawer, and I also put my books in that drawer as well. I feel like this is a good category because when your important documents are in order, you feel just so much more in control and less stressed. For example, if something comes up and you need to find that document, you know where it is. You don't have to sift through a load of irrelevant documents, and it's just a lot easier to find. So that concludes today's video. Definitely a lot shorter and sweeter than the wardrobes one. If you are interested in seeing that category, I will also leave that in the description box below. Otherwise, if you enjoyed this video and would like to see more related content, please do give me a subscribe and a thumbs up. I post new videos every single Sunday. You can also find me on Instagram at cheneyparsons if you'd like to give me a follow on there. Otherwise, once again, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you all very much. See you next week for a new video.